Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Yo, today, you like it, and I love it. Today is the 141st episode
Wow.
of the In Your Face show. And I'm here with my main man, the crowdfunding man, Mr. Dave Brink. Introduce yourself, my brother.
Woo. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, man. Thank you for having me today. Yeah. I'm Dave Brink. I'm from the Netherlands. I, I have this funny accent. That's because I'm from Europe, right? And I make American style comic books. Um, I love American comic books. I love the superhero comic books. So we make them in English. Most of our readers are from the US, right? So that's the target audience right now, um, and I just love comics, man, and I love the '90s. So I'm a comic book creator. I work with other creators also, so with writers, with artists, with colorists, with letterers. We have multiple titles, and I'm trying to coordinate all of that, right? So yeah, that's basically short my little story.
Not a problem, not a problem. So, I have Mr. Brink on the show to promote his new book called Perfect 10. And he has a crowdfunding page out, and he wants to promote it and tell us a little bit about Perfect 10. What's up?
Right, man. Perfect 10 is a comic that's originated in the 90s. So I created the basic concept in the 90s, and we made some comics, but not of this particular concept, right? And then we kind of stopped producing comics for like 15 years, and I started in pick things up again in 2014 to 2015, and um, and this book, this particular title, uh, was this artist that I wanted to work with. I told him I want to make a comic book. His name is Paulo Rodrigues. He's from Brazil, right? I'm a huge fan. He did books like Wolverine and the Justice League America, and I was his fan, and I managed to commission him for pinups, and I was so happy. And I told him I wanted to work with you sometime on a comic book, never realizing it would actually happen, right? So I dusted off this concept. I rewrote it, and I presented it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, let's make this." So about 4 years ago, we started to produce this particular title. So we now have three books. These books all had their own campaigns. These books are done, they're completely done. They are printed, they're ready to go. So what we have now is a second chance campaign, right, for people who missed any of the previous uh, campaigns. And what it basically is, the story itself, it's about this artificial being who wakes up in a world similar to like the Marvel universe, right? A world filled with superheroes, supervillains. Oh, we lost the host. There
I'm
he is.
here.
Phew, phew, he's back. No panic.
Sorry about that. That's my phone. Yeah, go
Right.
ahead.
So yeah, so she wakes up, right, and she doesn't know who she is and why she's there. So as the reader, you figure out uh, who this character is, the background, plus you discover this universe. This is a complete universe. is a so we have multiple titles. They all take place in the same universe. And so for new readers, the Perfect 10 title is a perfect way to get acquainted with our genuine comics universe, because she is new also in this universe, right? So yeah, it's a fantastic story. It's action packed, and the entire story is one day. So we now have 3 issues, right? But all 3 issues still take place in the same day. So it's like moving from point A to point C without skipping time. Right. That's
Mm.
the basic concept.
We have a comment here.
Hey, Steven.
Perfect 10 is awesome. I'm all in for future issues.
Thank you, Steven. Thank you, man.
Hey, you got a bit of a fan base there.
Yeah. You know, it's a lot of work to get your audience. This is why I started my own YouTube channel also, because you need to
Hmm.
put yourself out there. People need to know you nowadays. I work without publisher, you know. Luckily, we have crowdfunding now, but if you do crowdfunding, you need to tell people who you are. People want to back creators oftentimes. Um, so this is why I started my own channel, where I do weekly interviews with other creators also, and I've been doing that now for 2 years, I think. And through that, um, I've built this network, and slowly the audience is growing, and Perfect 10 is is pretty successful. So now people also want to check out the other titles, right? Because they know Perfect 10. So this is great. This is fantastic. I'm so grateful for all the support, and sometimes I can't believe it, man. But it's wonderful.
Very good. Very true. Very true. So, I have a question. What made you
Yeah.
get into comics? What made you want to get into it?
Well, first off, I was a reader. So when I was very young, we had this little company, little publisher in the Netherlands that translated American books. So from DC, from Marvel, translated them to Dutch. So I read titles like the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the bigger titles, you know. Um, and I learned that I really liked superhero stuff. That was really my thing, you know. That was colorful. It was intriguing. It has awesome stories with cool looking dudes and cool costumes and sexy chicks, and that was totally my thing. And I was like, I love this. So I wanted to know more. So I started. So when I got older, I started to read outside of what was translated to Dutch, right? So I expanded my reading catalog, and so I discovered more titles from DC, from Marvel, but also from Image. Later came Image Comics, and I it it also happened that I could draw. I seemed to have this penchant for drawing, um, and I wanted to make these books. I wanted to work for Marvel, right? So I wanted to be on an artist, a penciler. I even solicited once to Marvel, like pencil art, right? And I got this letter back. Hey, you're pretty good, but you need a bit more work in this area and that area. I was basically very young, right? Uh, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to make comics without Marvel. We're going to do it ourselves. And I was in school, the students,
Hmm.
and it was this creative school. So we had a lot of creative talented young people there. And I just made this little flyer that I wanted to make comic books, and who was interested to make comic books with me. And people actually responded. So we had this group of like 6, 7 students, and we started to build this universe together, um, and produce some comic books. It was the learning process for us. It was the 90s then, right? Learning process. We learned to make comics and how difficult it was, and we sold some at conventions. It was long before crowdfunding even existed, um, and that's basically how things started. So I just knew I wanted to make comic books when I was very young.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So, what do you feel about indie comics? Indie comics, you know what I'm saying? Where does your books fit in with that? That neighborhood, that community.
Yeah, you have a wide variety of indie comics. The great thing of crowdfunding is that basically the entrance level is very low. Anyone who wants to make a comic book can do it. You can have it crowdfunded. So it's basically a merit-based system, right? The customer decides what they're going to back, um, and you get a wide variety of stuff. And I I grew kind of tired with the mainstream. It was all the same. I don't need more Batman comics or Spider-Man comics. I've seen that, right? But the indie sphere, they have new things, new characters with new creators with passion and enthusiasm, and they bring their books to crowdfunding. And I love to support that and read those books. And there's a wide variety. There's something for everyone. So that's where I now lately uh, I get most of my comics from.
Mm, mm. So, you know, during the whole, who out of all the artists that you've worked with, who were your favorite to work with? Who did you feel did great work for you? That did the most for your project? Like, okay, for example, okay, the artists that you've worked with, all the artists that you've worked with, how many of them helped really build Perfect 10? Like, was it like how did that help your character? How did it help your character build? How
Right,
did it help build your character?
right. Well, Perfect 10, I make Perfect 10 together with Paul Rodrigues. And Paul Rodrigues is very passionate about the book also. He loves the book, the series, and he promotes it. So he draws it, and he actually goes out to sell this book, to help with the crowdfunding. So that's fantastic. You also have sometimes you have artists, and it's this gig for them. You pay them the page rate, they deliver the pages, and that's basically it, right? But sometimes you have people like Paul Rodrigues and like Eric Hodson. These are creators that go beyond that. So they are invested in the process also. So not only the production of the book, but they have passion for the process. They want to see it succeed so they can continue, right? And these are my favorite collaborations.
Okay, your favorite collaborations. Okay, you
Mhm.
know, for your Mount Rushmore, right? For your Mount Rushmore,
Ooh,
who would
yeah.
be your favorite artist of all time?
Or Mount Rushmore?
Your Mount Rushmore.
You mean I need to pick four faces?
Maybe five. It could be five. It could be 10. Out of all those characters, out
Oh,
of
my
all your favorite
favorite.
artists,
Oh, that's
yeah,
very
out of five.
difficult. there are so many awesome artists. My favorite
They
artist,
don't have to be in order. You go ahead.
Joe Mad, is one of my favorites.
One of my
Uh,
favorites as well. I love it. I love Joe
yes.
Matt.
Do you know Scott Clark?
I think so. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Scott Clark. He was basically a fill-in artist. So so he worked for Top Cow, and it was basically when the series were running, and he came in later, or he produced like series on the side, like Wildcats, and Stormwatch. He did part of Stormwatch, right? I loved his work, man. Fantastic. Michael Turner, you have yeah, the classic man, Jim Lee, John Byrne, Eric Larson also. So Eric Larson's art lately got a bit more, what do you say, more sketchy, less refined.
Hmm.
I think he's working faster now, so you can see it, but the basics, the basic structures are still uh, solid, you know. So those are favorite. Old school Deodato Jr. was also one
Thank
of
you.
my favorites. Yeah, yeah. Before he transitioned to the more like realistic style, uh, so the older style. I like that. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
What
Okay.
about you?
Okay.
What about you?
Hmm. Oh man, it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
There's a lot, man. It's difficult to pick from, right?
Todd McFarlane, Jim
Yeah.
Lee,
Hmm.
Eric Larson. Oh, forget his name. What's the guy's name? Damn it. Forget it. Michael Turner is one of my favorite.
Yep.
Um, want to also to.
Silvestri.
I love Mark Silvestri. You
Yes,
know,
Silvestri's fantastic.
uh, I like mostly image guys mostly because I
Hmm.
grew up in that era. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
and I love all those characters. I love because my Jarhead actually my actual art for Jarhead is actually done in a '90s style of way. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
And a couple of my artists that I've worked with uh, was Mr. Brett Strong, Leo Cundum, Eater Macias.
Oh, really? You worked with Leo and with Eater? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Eater did my Collision of the Colossus cover.
Oh, really?
Um, yes, sir. Yes, he did.
I did this book with Eater. Wait, this one, Dream Girl Sleeper Agent. He did this with me,
Awesome.
Eater
Awesome.
Messiah, and also work with Leon. He does many pinups for us.
Yeah, Eater. Leo is one of my favorite. Leo, me and him, we built a rapport. You know, Leo
Right.
is a. I've been working with him for years, for
Hmm.
a lot of years, for very long, very, very, very long. Guys like Isaac,
Isaac Bell.
yeah, Isaac Bell, yeah. Me and Isaac, we've been cool ever since we actually came into to the industry together. Me and Isaac.
Really?
Yes, you got to ask him about Jarhead. He'll tell you. You know who I am.
Sure,
Um,
of course.
Isaac Bell. Oh man.
He also did some the first American language book that I did was partly drawn by Isaac Bell. Yeah,
Mm, see, man. Like
it's a
I
small
wish
world,
me
man.
and yeah, it's a very small world.
Yeah.
Will Callaghan.
Hmm.
Will is me and Will been cool friends for years.
Yeah.
For years, 17, maybe going on 18 years. Me and
Yeah.
Will has we're close like that. Close like that. Um, there's a lot of guys that I can name.
Hmm.
Chris Williams. A lot of guys. A lot of guys that that is so awesome in what they do, man. And one of my OGs in the industry, China McCoy, he's one of the legends that I've learned from. Um, what else? That's about it, really.
Right.
So I
Seems
got
like
another
I need to check out your books, man. Sounds good. You have a lot of talent going on there.
question. A lot of my stuff I've done over the years. I actually drew the what you call those things, the sketches of all my characters. All of my characters are hand drawn by me, but I
Okay.
give them to my artists to redraw them out and
Sure.
to detail them up and everything. But I actually know how to draw myself. You know, I stopped drawing for a while because I'm more on I'm a businessman now, and I'm a podcaster and I'm a writer. So right now, so
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
really draw right now much, anyways.
I know.
You know.
I know the problem. Yeah.
So I have a question. Question for you.
Yeah.
So where did the origin Perfect 10 come from?
The origin?
Hmm.
You mean the concept idea or
Concept,
the
idea.
character origin?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Think I just I think it was just so we were starting to build this super universe. So it was like 94, right? We started to build a super universe, and I already knew that I wanted a character that was not human, that was artificial. So it started basically there. So we needed this idea, this story around that. So why was this character uh, um, not human? What was she made of? Why was she made? So it slowly grew, and that's how it. That was basically the only thing that prompted it, right? But the original concept was also a little bit different in the beginning. There were like two main characters, um, and after like 20 years, 25 years, I picked up the old concept again. I completely restructured it, rewrote it, so two characters became one. And so what it is now is completely different from what it was originally. But the core idea is still the same. I just wanted this artificial being. That's basically it. So yeah, yeah.
Okay. 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 I have a question. I have another fundamental question.
Yes.
Um, if you was putting together a book, right, and you have to have an inker, an artist, a writer, and a colorist and a letterer, right, and a person that does all the covers for you, right? Who
Right.
would those people be? And it has to be people you want to work with, and it has to be people. It could be people you want to work with. It could be people who you work with. It doesn't have to
Right.
be in order. It's
Just
just a fun
just a
question to
dream
ask.
team, right? Just a
Yeah,
dream.
dream team. Yeah.
Uh, oh, okay. I think writer. I think Chris Claremont is a very good writer. I think if I could sign him up for something, I would do it immediately. As for artists, I would love to work sometimes with Randy Green.
Hmm.
Yeah, Randy Green, and I don't know what concept yet, but if I get the chance, I would love to. Randy Green made one poster for us. The poster behind me is made by Randy Green. I was so happy when did that. Um, and and on Inker, that's a tough one. I'm not really familiar with the names of many Inkers.
Mm.
I know there's this Inker I work with called Chist. His name is Chist, and he's pretty good. I think I would just reach out to him. And for letterer, I'm pretty pretty happy with the letterer that we have. We have the in-house letterer called Joel Saavedra, and he does brilliant work. So yeah. What about you? What's your
Awesome.
dream team? If you could
Oh
get it.
man, it would be hell on earth, man. It'd be crazy. Uh, I'm a writer, so I write my own stories. But I have to have sometime a script writer, sometime I would have to bring Andre Owens, my script writer, man. Um, I would say Mr. Isaac Bell as my artist,
Hmm. Yeah.
John Scobie as my man John Scobie as my inker. My colorist is Craig Roberts, one of my closest dear friends. And a person nearest, I would say Jason Jason Smith. He did
Right.
a lot of my colors.
Hmm.
And lettering, we could swing that. We could swing that. David Wentz. There you go. Well, that's
Lance.
that's that's
Yeah.
my dream team right there. You
Right.
know what I
Lance.
mean?
Lance also does logos, right?
Huh?
He also makes logos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Cool.
a lot of the stuff that we're doing that I want to do with you is to bring you out, man. So, what are 5 things that you love about comic books? What are the 5 things that made you really interested in bringing your very own project out?
Well, it's a unique medium. So the cool things about comics is that it costs exactly the same if you make a comic about people sitting around a table talking, or people just going to space and other planets and the most crazy shit you can imagine, and you can put it on the page, and you can make it with a very small team, so that is made with a often singular vision, without like big studios telling you what you should do or rewriting things or whatever. I love that. So the creative aspect. I love the fact that it brings people together. So it brings creators together. So like you said, you have the artist, you have the inker, you have the colorist.
Hmm.
All these people come together to create something unique, man. To create something that only they can produce. And this is just this. It's close to magic to me, right? So you have this book, and I see this, that people can even do this, that people
Right.
have the skills, and then you find the people with these talents and you bring them together to make something awesome, something unique, and you don't need like a giant budget. You don't it's not a television show. It's a unique medium, and you can take it with you when you go travel or whatever. um, Comics are just fantastic. The stories are cool. It's great that you can just have like smaller books, right? So you have a small story you can read this comic book within 15 minutes, and 15 minutes just have some fun. Or you have trades. So it comics are fantastic. It's my favorite medium, man. It's the favorite medium next to animation. I think comics are, and some people see comics as making comics as a stepping stone to something else. Like they
Hmm.
they make comics because they want this Netflix series, for instance, right?
Hmm.
So the entire comic turns out to be more like this pitch, this Netflix pitch, and this is not the reason to make comic books. Comic books are the
Hmm.
destination.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, actually doing comic books, to be honest, is very unique and it's very, it brings out parts of you that you never thought you have.
Mm.
Being a comic artist is it allows you to. go back into other worlds that you never was able to do, or go into. You know what I'm saying? It brings out your imagination. It brings out your creativity. And a lot of mediums and industries cannot do that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Right.
Comic books are the reason why I got into comics is because I seen a lot of things, like a lot of my favorite artists and favorite inkers do what I do. They do what they do, and I'm like, man, I want to do that. I want to be great at it. And look, man, I was determined to get my very first comic out. And man, like when I first got it out, I was happy, dude. Like I was like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, man.
um,
That's exciting.
yeah, because like when doing comic books, you have to basically put your all into something into it.
Right.
It's an all or nothing type of industry. You can't
Right.
just be like, hey, I'm doc. I'm just gonna half-ass what I do. No, because one thing I learned is that in this industry is that you have to go about this as your first impression. You know what I'm saying? Your first book is a first impression. If you ace that first book,
Yeah.
people is going to want to buy it. People is going to like being around you and talking about it. They want to hear you talk about it and everything. But if it's just like one of those books where it's like, it's okay, you're not really going to, you didn't make a first impression. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like I said, it's that's what it's like. You want to make it's like dating a female. You want to make that first impression to want her to date you, right?
Yeah, of course.
You want to hit home base, don't you?
Yeah, preferably.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So who would date a woman and not like and who would date a woman if you're a guy and not want to hit home base? I know I
Mm.
would. I know I would. I
Right.
try to go further than that. Hit grand slams if I could. You know, that's something that I would like to do. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if you really look at it like that, what is this guy talking about? I'm talking about basically making a first impression when you're doing your projects,
Yeah. Yeah.
Steven. When
Might
doing your
not
first
might not
comic
be
books,
the right allegory, but we get the point.
no,
Yeah.
no, it's the right allegory because
Right.
if you really look at it, your first impression when you're actually selling your books at a Comic Con,
Yeah.
they're going to look at your confidence. They're going to look at you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And they're going to look at you to see if you have confidence in what you're doing and if you
Right.
know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
And
God.
people look,
Do
yeah,
you
people look
do
at body
you
language.
have confidence when you're?
Yes,
Yes, that's good, man.
yes,
I'm I'm
because
so I'm so nervous
well,
when
see,
I mix book. There's always doubt. Things can get better or should be different, or could this be better? But at some point, you need to let go. You need to finish the project, put the book out there, and that's a nerve-wracking moment, man. When the book goes out and people get to read it, that
well,
that
you
really,
have to.
yeah,
Well, basically, when it comes to comic books, see, you have to know how to sell. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And
right,
knowing how to sell is like it's like this. Okay, I was always taught this years ago. Okay, when you're at a convention, right? You give them eye contact, firm handshake, and introduce your project to the person, and know what you're talking about because they're going to ask you questions based on what you're talking, based on their knowledge of the comic book industry. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying?
yeah, right, right,
And if they just see you just drawing with your head down, they're not going to come to your table.
mm,
You know,
mhm,
sometimes you have to go. Sometimes they won't even come to your table, even if you're standing up. You have to go to the person and get that sale. That's like throwing your rod. That's like throwing your fishing hook out there looking
yeah,
for a fish, and you have to. And sooner or later, you're gonna want that fish to clamp on that hook, right? Gonna bite
yes,
on that hook, right?
yeah,
So think about it.
mm,
If that fish bite on that hook, you're gonna want to rear that motherfucker in, right?
I get what you mean. Sometimes you have this book and you're so confident about it, right? So this
Yeah,
book is great. It's why wouldn't anyone want this book, right? This book is
yeah,
fantastic. This,
yeah,
but then you'll learn that you need to work for it. You need to get people's attention. No one
right.
will buy your book if they don't know it exists, right?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why you talk about it everywhere
Mhm.
you go. Everywhere you go, you talk about it. Everywhere you go, you tell people about it. Everywhere you go, they say, "Okay, small talk. Okay, I'm talking to you about sports, right?" And then all of a sudden, yo, I got this major project coming out. It's called Jarhead. Got a comic. It's a comic book. You know what I'm saying? La da 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 da. And he'd be like, "I'm not into comic books, but man, I love your enthusiasm. I love your confidence." And then bang, you got to sell.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I'm talking about, Stephen. Is that you have to have confidence. You have to know what you're talking about, and you have to build your project the way you do it. Build your project and have that no, and basically build it to be your best project.
Mhm.
If you don't build it to be your best project, then your best project, your projects after that will come as subpar because you're putting in half-ass work. You see what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right.
That's what I'm saying. Your first impression is your last impression on people because they'll be like this. If it's not good when they get it, then they're gonna look at it like this is not gonna be good. When the next book is not gonna be good because they're gonna look at it as
Yes,
half-ass.
yes, yes. Yeah, there are
Come on.
more factors with crowdfunded books, right? So the quality needs to be there, but also you need to make sure that you deliver on time. Uh,
Hmm.
so not like 3 years late, people just lose interest, right? And they will not come back
Exactly.
for a second issue.
A lot of people are impatient. So you have to make your deadlines. You have to be able to
Right.
execute your plan fast and
Hmm.
quick. And you have to know what season to put your books out at. Don't just put your books out at the time and like I'm gonna just put it out there. Nah, know the seasons. Know
No, no,
when you
not
when
in December. Not
yeah,
December,
know
January. That's a bad deal.
know when and when not to put it out because I'm telling you, you're not gonna get the best um reaction that you want. You have
Right.
to be able to just know your seasons and try and know when to do it and when not to do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
just be confident. Just know that you got it. Because if you don't know that you got something, if you don't know that you're great at what you're doing, then you're not going to get that sale. You're going to get
Right.
people buying your book because they know you. What about the people that don't know you? You have to prove to
Yes.
them that you're great at what you do, that you love what you do.
Sure.
if if a person that's coming to you to buy your book, they're going to be like, oh, okay. If you don't have confidence in what he does, why should I buy it?
Right. Right.
Why
Right.
should I
Right.
buy it?
Hmm.
That's something that you have to
Or
develop.
or
Go
have
ahead.
someone else do the selling for you. There are many people who are like maybe socially awkward or they are more to themselves or whatever, for whatever reason. And that kind of frustrated me because I had to learn to put myself out there. I even took courses to learn how to overcome my social anxiety, right? Because I want to sell my comic books, right?
Right, and that's
For some people this is difficult, and then you need help from other people, right?
when like okay, when you haven't those anxieties, right?
Hmm.
Just close your eyes and take a deep breath. Take 3 deep breaths and just tell yourself, I could do this. I could do it. I could do it. Take a deep breath and just slow deep breaths because all of that stuff that's just nervousness. That's anxiety. That's nervousness. And you just take a deep breath and just I know I can do it. 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 And just take your time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And just
Yeah.
go for it. Just go for it and believe in yourself. That's what a lot of this and a lot of people in this industry do not have. They don't have confidence in what they're doing and who they are They don't have confidence, and that's why they don't get the sales, and that's why it's a lot of great characters, but but the person that's doing them lack confidence within themselves.
Right. Right. Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
what I know, and I've been in this industry. I've been around the corner, up the street. I know what I know. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah. This is true,
But
man.
my brother, where do you feel? What are your main goals in this industry? The- yeah.
Right now, my main goals is to I would love to finish some sagas that I'm working on. So right now we're working on issue 3 of Perfect 10, and in total it will be 5 issues. So my goal now, I think basically short term, right? So I want to get things done so I can move on to the next thing. I don't think too far ahead. I don't know what the future brings, but I do know that I can do 5 issues, one series, right? And so I wanted to finish that one, and then I want to make this collected edition, and then I wanted to do a new series. So just slowly build. I take things one book at a time, um, and at some point you have such a catalog that you can do more with that, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah. By the
Well,
way, I put the link to the campaign. Uh, uh, I shared it with you,
hold
so
on.
people
Hold
can
on.
see it if they want, right?
Let me see. Send it. Can you send it again to me?
I
Send
have
it
it.
in the. Send
Sure,
it in the. Okay. Yeah. There we
wait,
go.
I can send it in the private chat if you want. Is
Yeah. Private chat. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that cool? There you go, sir. So yeah, that's basically it, man. So just think. I people sometimes say you need to dream big, right? Which is
Yes,
true.
sir.
Which is true. You need to dream big, but you have to set your goal realistically. So slowly build to that bigger end goal, right?
Right.
Um,
But see, this is the kicker. Realistically, right? Do
yes,
not lower yourself or lower what you want to do to fit people's minds, to fit people's what they want you to do. Do it to what fit you. What I mean
yeah,
by that is realistically. Realistically means dream bigger than what you want because the world is a big place. And basically, there's a lot of stuff out there you could do. I mean, you could be talking about, hey, I want to do comic books for the rest of my life, right? What
sure,
if a big producer comes up, movie producer comes up, and says, I want to fund your comic book. I want to fund your comic book and turn it into a movie, and I'll give you half of the royalties. What you gonna
mm.
say then?
Yeah, that's a difficult one. I I don't think I want my properties to be turned into movies. To be honest, if if they ever get turned into a different medium, then I prefer animation.
Well,
Um,
that's a movie too.
yeah, sure,
Live
sure,
action.
sure. Yes,
Live
yes,
action. And see, a lot of people don't put their goals. They don't dream big. They dream now in the moment. No, because you got to understand. Once you create something, you're now a businessman. Okay, and the businessman has to dream big. You have to be a
yeah,
visionary.
sure.
You have to dream big, and if you dream big, your project will go further than what it has and what you want it to go.
Mm,
But you have to push it. You have to push it that way. Don't push it to
right.
where you want it to get what I want. Just want to get quick cash. No, because it's quick cash. What if you run
Yeah,
out?
well,
What if you run? Yeah. What if you run out of that cash?
yeah,
You get that quick cash. You run out of it. What's that? You
yeah,
didn't really learn nothing. Okay,
And if you
so that
want,
long term.
and if you
Okay,
want, and if you want cash, you shouldn't go into the comic book business, man. It's it's
yeah, exactly.
yeah, there's not much money in there. You need to do it because you're passionate about it, right?
Right, exactly. And a lot of people they do it. Okay, I want to take care of my family. Okay, well, I don't think you're going to want to do that. Some people make it because they know a lot of people. Some people make
Mm,
it because they know uh, they have connections, they have resources. I made it in this business because I know how to talk and I know how to move. I know how to speak. I know how to carry
right,
myself.
right.
And
You're a
basically,
salesman.
confidence and charismatic. And you have to be able to move. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to know how to make deals, make connections with people. Okay,
Right.
like who, like all the people that you're interacting with at at the Comic Con, they either have one connection that you could use.
Mm,
They each have one connection, maybe two connections that you could use to build your brand.
right,
They
right.
probably have a major toy line connection you don't even know about. You wouldn't know about it if you didn't ask. You know what I'm saying? You didn't ask, so how would you know about it? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people don't like they focus so much on what they're doing instead of focus on
Yeah, but
surroundings.
this is what I said earlier about to me that comics are the end goal. It's the ultimate medium to me, right? So if I have this comic that I'm really satisfied with, uh, that's my thing, and then I can create this new comic book and create this new comic book and slowly expand, and maybe someday I get to this point where I can think about animation or toys.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah,
but it's not really right now a goal that I aspire, right?
right.
Because
Yeah,
comics are my goal.
yeah. You have to be patient with that. You have to be
Yes.
patient with a lot
So,
of stuff that you want to do. You
mhm,
know, but always have that in the back of your mind where you can actually make this into something even greater. And a
right,
lot of
yeah,
people don't know that. A lot of people they see what these big celebrities are doing, and they say, "I want to do it." How are you going to do it if you don't have confidence in yourself?
right, yeah,
How are
yeah,
you
yeah,
going to do it if, like, for example, okay, if by people having confidence in themselves, they will automatically get the eyes of the big guys wanting to work with them,
mm,
and the big guys, the big corporations, the big companies wanting to build their toy line, or you never know what can happen. You just never know. You never know who's watching you.
right.
You never
I'm,
know,
I'm,
and that's
I must say though that instinctively, if a big corporation approaches me for something, I get a little bit nervous because bigger corporations they want a piece of the pie, they want control over certain things, and I feel that I want to stay as much independent as possible, right?
right.
Uh,
Now
Still
here's the
dependent
kicker
right
about that.
now on the platforms that where we can crowdfund, for instance, or StreamYard or whatever. So we're not completely independent, not as much as possible.
Very much understandable, and that's what I'm saying. You could get somebody that is big, but also independent. That also want to work with independent
Mm,
comics
right,
creators. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. You don't always have to work with the big corporations. What I mean, because big corporations could mean an indie brand. You know what I'm
right.
saying? You never know. A brand that the big media never heard about, but they still making a lot of freaking money. They still got the resources, that
Yeah,
still
yeah.
can get behind you and sponsor your project, sponsor everything you're doing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And a lot of people do not know that and do not want to do that. And that is why I'm saying that you can do that. You can take this to another level but you have to want to do. You have to believe in yourself to want to do it. You have to push yourself to want to do it, and you have to get out there and do the work. It's
Hmm.
not going to be given to you.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Of
not.
course. Yeah.
And if it's given to you, we all would have been famous right about now.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that's the thing too, right? So nowadays, I sometimes miss the days that you could just read a comic book without knowing anything about creators. It didn't really matter. You bought the book
Exactly.
for the book, right? And nowadays, people want to know everything about creators. They want to support creators more
Uh
often
huh.
than they want to support the characters or the books themselves. They like you, they will buy your book. Doesn't matter what you make, right? And I'm kind of missing that. If possible, I prefer to completely uh, vanish and just put my book out there and people sell the book without knowing anything about me. But just not possible nowadays, especially for a small indie creator. You know.
Hey, and that's why I tell people it may not be possible in a person's eye, but you can make it possible. You can make your own way. You can make your own way if people put in the work and get their work on resources and work on connections. Every person that you connect with, that you do interviews with, they probably know somebody that can hook you up with another way to get your book out. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It's a lot of ways you could do this. It's just not just the traditional way. You just have to find ways to get your brand out, talk about it. Everywhere you go, you need to talk about your project. Every freaking where you go, that's what I do. I talk about my show. Everywhere I go, I talk about it. Yo, I got my show. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere I go, that is that is marketing 101. That's marketing right there.
sure.
You're getting yourself out there by talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to. I want to help you do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I see that you're passionate about what you do, and I want to make sure that you get your stuff out there. And that's what I'm doing here to help you get it out there. Because I know that a lot of people want to see projects like ours, that like yours, like Will Colligan's and all those other guys that want to get you out there. But
Mm,
not everybody are willing to put in the work to get out there.
right.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They want,
producing the book, that's half the work, man. So
yeah, that's half the
making the
work.
comic book, that's a lot of work. But once you have that done, you need to sell it, and that's a completely different ball game, man. And then not everyone has the talent for that. There are few people who have talent for both, right? Making a book plus marketing and selling and stuff. Uh, so this is why I like to work with other creators who also are so involved that they help with create with marketing, with
Hmm.
promotion, right? Yeah.
Well, and that's what a lot of folks. That's what you building your brand for. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you won't even have to go to the people. They'll come to you because your brand is big. Because your brand will reach out for you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Your brand will be so noticeable that okay, he's doing great work. So why not? He got a big name. Why? Once you get that big name, once you get that big audience, people are gonna want to talk to you. People are gonna want to come to you instead of you going to them.
Mhm. Right.
That's just the main thing. You know what I'm saying? People will be hearing about you by word of mouth. People will be hearing about you by word of mouth, but see, and that's the thing. You have to do the footwork too to build that brand. Continue to build that brand because you got foot soldiers, word of mouth, but also you have to build your brand by doing even more shows
Yeah,
and more
and
books.
branding is more than just deciding what trade dress you have on your books or
Hmm.
being on conventions, but basically everything. Your entire social media presence is your branding if you're on your
Hmm.
own. create your own business, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so people sometimes forget that they get into this weird like Twitter drama and shit, and I don't really do that because I want people see to see my name and associate that with cool comic books, not with other stuff like politics or drama or whatever. So uh, my entire social media presence, as much as possible, is geared towards branding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, see, that's basically what I'm saying. Like if you're building your project, if you're building your brand, off of comics alone, then push
Hmm.
that brand, push it, push
Yeah.
it till you can't push it no more. Push it down people's throat where they can't swallow no goddamn more. Make them swallow that shit because that's how you're gonna get your name out there. Force it down their
Yeah.
fucking throats because they're gonna force it down your throats. They're gonna force what they want you to force. Trust me and believe. I go by it like this. You see how the music industry force different artists down your throat where you hear their songs over and over and over again, over
Yeah.
and over again.
Like
That's what I
they
do.
buy airplane.
That's what I do with my brand. I force it down people's throat. I make sure that they hear it. I make sure
Yeah,
that they see it. It's
sure.
force feeding at its
Mhm.
best. I make sure they regurgitate it and they eat it back up. I don't
Well,
care.
you need to be careful that they don't get sick of it, so
Well, they'll get
you
sick
can
of it.
push it.
Yeah, they'll get sick of it, and then eventually want to eat it back up again. Hey, that's grand.
Uh,
That's great.
yeah,
Hey,
sure.
because you got to believe in yourself, and
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
a lot of people don't know. A lot of as confidence is going to come.
yeah.
Confidence is key, and knowing what you're talking about, knowing what you're doing. But
Hey,
hey, what do I know?
I asked you something else. I was curious about. You do mostly or primarily digital comics, right?
Um, right now I don't have physical books, but I actually am working on getting physical copies, which I'm actually working on actually bringing them out soon because I'm coming out with gold covers and silver covers of my first comic called Jarhead Revelation 1.
Or you mean you get the first printed edition of your first comic?
Hmm. First
Excellent, man.
edition, first
That-
physical copies. My first three physical copies of Jarhead. Matter of fact, the first six will be three of them will be silver, three of them will be gold, and they will be going for the highest bidder. Whoever wants to buy them is going to be going for the highest bidder. They're going to go quick, so you might want to get on them. I'm telling you, because Jarhead
Wow.
is going to be great. I
See,
promise you.
you're always selling, man. You're always you're always thinking ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because you
great.
got to think ahead. Because if you don't think ahead, if you
Yeah,
don't like put your mind ahead of itself, then your work ethic won't go ahead as well. You have to
right.
put your mind ahead of it because if you don't put your mind ahead of itself, then your work ethic is going to just fall short, and you don't want that. You know,
Right.
I'm always selling constantly. I'm gonna
Yeah.
sell this Facebook too. I'm gonna sell this Instagram. No, not the Instagram. YouTube. Okay. Oh yeah, too. I want y'all to can y'all subscribe, like, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you're seeing. If you like this project, if you like this broadcast, like and subscribe to the In Your Face Show page, our YouTube page, and hit that notification bell to get all that is the In Your Face Show. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Is there anything else you got for the people?
Yes, please go to either jamiecomics.com, that's the web store, or we have a campaign for the entire run of Perfect 10. Right now, the books are done, they are printed, so you place the order. I will ship it out the same week, right? And it's on a site called fundmycomic.com. It's a new crowdfunding platform, Fund My Comic, and you search for Perfect 10, um, and you will find it. So please check it out and share it, guys. I will be very grateful. Thank you so much. And thank you, sir, for having me on today. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's all nothing but love, brother. I'm here to help, serve, and help people, and to show respect, and show nothing but gratitude, and show people that you can make it. You can be great. You can be the best at what you do. Just got to believe in yourself. That's all it is.
Yes, exactly. Gotta
Belief,
believe.
you know. And you can come on at any time. Anytime you want like to come back on, let me know. Whenever you want to come back on.
Thank you, man. It was fun.
Not a problem. It's always fun when dealing with the best host of the In Your Face show at his best. And we out. Peace, guys. We out. Boom, 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 boom.
Bye.